Today we're going on a bit of a mission. We've already made it to our first spot. We've come out to this big dam just to give it a test. We're not going to stop here. It's probably currently about 10 past 6. We're getting an early start because we're in the middle of a severe heat wave and it's not very pleasant at all. Got the boss with me. We've got 2 pyramid traps each we're going to put in here, and just to give you a bit of a rundown, just got a bit of the good old bullock liver in the bait holders. Not going to do anything too unusual, basically just put the traps out. What I am thinking is we might set 2 reasonably close. We'll set 2 a bit deeper because it's been like disgustingly hot. So I'm thinking that the yabbies might be a little bit deeper. Water temperature is actually reasonably cool. I was expecting the water to be hot. I thought some of these dams might be a bit green, but the water quality in this particular dam that we're at now is pretty good.
Whatever.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
They don't need to be out very far. Lucky last trap. We're only going 4 traps in this dam. 2 each. Oh, that one went a fair way out, which is all right. So we basically, to give you the rundown, we're not even going to walk all the way around. We've set them along this edge. So this is the far edge. Come down, spread them evenly along this edge. And that'll give us a fair indication if there's many yabbies in here. We'll get them along this edge just as much as if we trap them all the way around. We'll keep moving, and that wind is really blowing up already. The sun's not even up. We'll keep going down to this other creek, see how we go. I think the dry, hot days are really starting to take the toll on this little creek. The water level is reasonably low at best, but I am seeing some yabby holes along the edge. I've got 1 trap ready for the boss. I'll give you a look what we're doing. I do have my rod, but we're going to be trying to run these drop nets today. As we know, we don't have to leave them very long, and we're giving them a good bit of bait. There's a fairly decent chunk of lamb bone, and we've got some more good chunks in there. Got a bag full. The boss is going to head down the first trap. I'll get these others ready. Sun's not even poking over that horizon, and we'll just put them anywhere. I don't know where the boss is going. She's walking halfway back down the creek, which is all right. I'll let her go down there. I'll put my traps right here at the ute. I did find one thing with these hoop nets that wasn't particularly good in the manufacturing. These are Wilson brands. They were sent to me by Luke, which I really do appreciate, Luke. Thank you. We're going to give them a good run today. I'll just give you a bit of a look at what I've done. So what was happening when we first got these drop nets and I first tested them out was, for starters, these ropes just end up all over the place. So I've got a zippy tie and I pulled it really tight in each tie down point, which has stopped that. Another thing that was happening was this bottom hoop wasn't actually tied in with anything apart from one little tiny bit of this netting in one corner. So what was happening was that bottom hoop was just flopping around like a bloody dingo's donger, really causing a bit of a bugger of itself. So again, what I've done, I've got some zippy ties, zippy tied it down in the bottom of the trap, which has really helped. And another small but very fatal flaw in the building of these traps, I don't know whether other brands are the same. I have found some of that Wilson gear. I don't know where they manufacture their traps. I bought a Wilson shrimp trap, and it's the worst shrimp trap I've ever laid eyes on. The build quality is absolutely terrible. I will show you that one day. I'll compare some shrimp traps that I've got, but the Wilson one is just absolutely shocking. It's like there's no quality control, no thought going into it at all. I'll give you a look at this last fatal flaw, which is just an absolute joke really. And I don't like complaining about things. I'll make the best of everything. But I don't want people to see my videos and race out and buy these Wilson traps thinking that they're good. So the other fatal flaw I probably should have showed you before I put all the bait in, but this bottom, the very bottom of the trap, I'll give you a look. The very bottom of the trap, you'll notice there's a couple of zippy ties right there. Well, that's a seam. And that seam there is only stitched together by a little bit of this thread, and just about all the traps had come undone. And left a big gash in the bottom of the trap about that long that opened up about that wide. So when you pull the trap up, and they never really got, they weren't hammered. We only used them once. So what happens? You pull the trap up, there's a great big hole in the bottom. What happens? The yabbies fall out. The very first time I tried them, that happened. I don't even think I might have put that part on camera. I don't think I used them on camera until I fixed them up with the zippy ties. But you go out and pay good money for a trap, you don't expect to have to fix it before you even use it. So just be careful. If you're going to buy these, if you see this video and you're going to buy hoop nets, just keep a bit of an eye on those little things, because you come all the way out here without any gear to fix them, it's going to really ruin your day. And just to give you a look at a bit of a comparison, I'll show you this old hoop net that was given to me by an old timer. This is a hoop net that was actually given to me by an old fella. It's probably seen God knows how many years of yabbying, but just the build quality. The bottom hoop is a lot bigger. When it sits down, it sits a lot more open, and it's actually tied on at 3 spots, which is from the manufacturer. We haven't actually done that. And this bottom, I've covered it up now, where it's tied at the bottom here is tied really well. There's no way that it can open up. God knows how old that trap is, but the build quality difference is, yeah, chalk and cheese. What's that?
This one is 14 minutes.
It's been 14 minutes. The boss is ready to have a check. I think we've got to be onto these every 15-20 minutes at the most. So I'll get in, have something to eat and get back out again. I don't know whether we might just leave one for half an hour and see if it makes any difference. Wait up, we're on a good angle for you. Oh! Oh, you got one?
Baby one. This one's coming, going up, going back.
How did that get out? Did it just click out? Or? That's alright, that's only a little one.
Yeah, it went from underneath. Is there a hole in it?
Yeah, that's these bloody Wilson traps I was just telling you about.
Was carrying
and this is what I was talking about the yabbies dropping out the bottom of the trap. See, he's wedged himself down in that seam. Made a little hole right in the seam he is. I've got him out unscathed and we're going to put him back. I came out to this creek because I thought it would have been perfect for the drop nets, but the water levels dropped probably a good metre, and it is a little bit difficult to get them out. The water level's normally right up to the top of the grass, which would have been perfect because we could have just dropped them straight down. As it is now, ooh, one more little fella, which he can just go back.
What'd you laugh? Huh?
What's going on here?
Sure.
Yeah, she's got the phone down there, getting a couple of selfies. We'll head down and check my traps that I put in. I don't even know how long it's been. It's been probably over 15 minutes.
Impatient check.
Because it's been 10 minutes since we checked hers, so it's been at least 10 minutes. Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
There you go.
who sips in here?
God, how many?
Gosh.
There'd be 15 bloody yabbies in there.
Babies.
Nothing of any size. But I don't mind eating those little fellas, especially in certain types of dishes. So I'll grab the esky and we'll keep them for now. I wasn't expecting that. There'd have to be, there's well over 10 yabbies. And that's the good drop net. This old banger, she's done the trick. I think given that, we'll go and check my other trap. Trap number 2. Oh yes, and again. What do we want? Be another 10 yabbies. I don't know whether it's the method that I'm throwing them, but 20 yabbies straight up.
Probably.
Nothing of any great size. There's one in there that's reasonably big, but nothing that I would call a decent yabby. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, I don't know what you're doing, but you better hit it now. Don't even hit it, just smash it right now. And while you're going, after the video, head over to TeamTibbett.com. TeamTibbett.com. Head over, buy a shirt for yourself, buy one for mum, one for dad, one for each of the kids. Just count how many cousins you got and buy one for them as well. Grandpa, grandma wants one. Head over. It literally helps us out a lot. Pays for a bit of fuel and helps us get out to the spots where the big yabbies are. So what are you doing? Heading over to TeamTibbett.com, get yourself a shirt. I think the boss has got a little bit disheartened. She wants to move her traps. Which probably isn't a bad idea. We'll keep moving them around. Another 3 fairly small ones. I didn't bring the esky, so we'll just leave them in there. She wants to redeem herself. Is she gonna do it? No.
That's not yabby before.
It's the same yabby that we left in there.
We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, we'll pull him out. What we've decided to do, we're going to keep moving down the water hole, see if we can't find some big ones. We've made the executive decision that we're going to move the traps, unless by some miracle they're full of monsters, which I can't see happening because we didn't get one monster out of the last pull. So, oh, another 6 mediocre yabbies.
They're clean.
They're nice and clean little yabbies and absolutely perfect for the big catfish bait that I wanted to get. So we've ticked one box, but we're after something a little bit bigger. What we're going to do, we're going to move further down the creek. The banks are a little bit steeper and probably better for the drop nets. We'll go and check the other trap first.
Ooh, monster.
Absolutely 0 in that trap, so that confirms it. We're moving. Some of you may remember this spot. We were here a few weeks ago and we promised to bring the drop nets back. So here we are. We've actually got them in. I'll give you a bit of a look at the water level. And this is the same creek that we're just getting all them little ones, but much further around. It was basically at the end of the hole. I think this must be the deeper little patch, and the banks are a lot better to be setting them drop nets. I've got 2 up there already. The boss has got one off the tree. I've got my rod in off the tree and another drop net up here. And this one's been in for how long? 10, 12 minutes. So we might as well have an impatient check. See if we can't get anything a bit bigger. Oh yeah, yes. No monsters, but a crap load of bait. Again, another 10 or so. We're not having much luck with the big fellas today, but I'm stocking up on bait. I want to stock up a little bit. I think I'm going to vacuum seal them and freeze them, and they should keep for wintertime catfishing, which I want to do a bit of this year. I want to try and go after some monster catfish. I was having a bit of fun with that rod. I think I got 6 in about 2 minutes, but it's been 15 minutes, so we better check these traps. And I'm thinking if we don't get any big ones very soon, we might go back and check that dam, because I only need so much bait, and that one was pretty pitiful. One little bait yabby, and I'm not even too sure what sort of fish that is. Let's see if I'll get that yabby out of there first, because he's climbing over there to claw me. That's a different looking fish.
What's that?
I'm not too sure what that is. It's not a carp. It's not a carp. I have no idea what it is. Looks like it could be some sort of carp or something. Have a look. I think I better put it back, because like I said, I'm not really too sure what it is. I could get in trouble for putting it back, but I could get in trouble for not, so it's definitely not a European carp, I know that. Hopefully this one does a bit better. Oh yes, it definitely did.
Oh, that's massive.
That is probably the best pull of the day.
That's a lot.
There'd be a good dozen yabbies. Still nothing of any great size. We'll keep persevering here. Stock up while we can. We'll have to cross our fingers. We can't complain with what we've got, but
It's always babies.
this trap here has literally caught 1 yabby all day. All the others are getting 10, 15. It's his unlucky day. Actually, it's a little female. I think for good luck, what we're going to do, we're going to let her go. I'll bring the empty bucket next time. She reckons I just jinxed her by bringing the esky down. I wanted to come prepared so I didn't have to walk all the way back with a trap full of yabbies.
Was there any?
And there was none in there anyway. I've had this line in the water for probably 10 or 15 minutes while we've been mucking around these traps. Let's go and have a look. Surely we've got something on here. It does feel like there's more weight on there than just the bone. Bring it up very slowly, get underneath it. I felt something in there. Oh, what do we got?
2.
2. Well, that's not as good as what I thought it would be. I thought it'd be loaded. And I tell you what, if there's no wind noise coming through this camera, I'm going to be very surprised. I do have our little wind gadget on there. What do we got? What do we got? A tiny yabby. And given the way that little yabby was pulling the meat, I would have sworn there was something decent on there then. Here, Bosh. We're gonna have our final pull of the traps. We've only got small ones so far, and we've got enough of them. What I think's happening, I reckon the big ones have started to burrow in because the water level's dropping so fast. It's getting hot and there's no rain on the horizon. I reckon the big ones are a little bit smarter and they're burrowing in first. Anyway, we'll get it in and see how we go. Oh, well, there's actually a big one in there.
Oh, this is a clean big one.
He's definitely not a monster, but he's probably the biggest of the day. Definitely not a monster, and guess what? It is a female. I'm gonna let her go. We've got enough small ones there we can cook up and for bait. So, and we still do have those pyramid traps in that dam, which could be, it's his unlucky day. This one here, I've literally dropped straight down on the bank. Ready? Oh, and another good one. Big ones might be just starting to come out.
Oh my god.
As soon as you grab them, they grab hold of the net. He's got all the meat this time. Oh, bummer. Another female. She's gonna have to go back. And 3 little bait yabbies. Guess what? They're coming with us. I'm not holding out too high of hopes for this trap because I think we've got 1 yabby in it all day. And it's been in there all day.
Just babies.
What do we got? 3.
3. That's perfect bait.
Yeah, that is a perfect bait. He went straight through the net. Bit hard to tell whether it's a male or female, but I think we could keep it for now. It's too perfect to let go, just bring them down.
Yeah.
The last chance for a big one out of the traps, and she's put it straight down. 1. We'll have a look. Male or female, we know the drill. If it's a female, I'll put it back. If it's a male, it's his unlucky day. Oh, mate. And it's his unlucky day. What we're gonna do, not gonna film all of it because that wind is absolutely howling. We're gonna sort through them. That one's a male, that one's a female. Males go into that bucket. Females go into the drink. Just to give you a bit of an idea what we got, stick it down in the bucket there. Look at that, loads of them. I just want to get a few at a time. It's going to take a while. They all fell back in there, except for 2. I don't want to tip them all out at once. Male, 2 males. Stick some grass in this bucket.
There's one underneath.
I'll grab a scoop out and put it on the ground. They'll all scatter. As they're scattering, I'll pick them up and check them. Male. That one there is actually a female. Go back. Male, male, female. Hopefully the old pyramid traps have done a little bit better, or we're going to be having yabby soup, which I don't mind. Oh, I'm going to say there's one in there.
Oh, that's big.
There's one absolute bloody
Ooh.
monster. Nah, he's not an absolute monster. Getting a bit carried away there. He's an absolute monster compared to what we've been getting. Oi! God, he's a savage bugger. One little fat spingle perch. He can go back. Come on, mate. Making it difficult for me. I was going to let you go. And I'm going to let him go because, check him out. He's big, dirty, slimy, covered in crap. I can't even tell whether it's a male or female, and it doesn't matter. He's a beautiful specimen, but he's going back.
This is 30.
Yeah. If you haven't got one of these things, do recommend getting one, especially if you do a lot of home kills or hunting, fishing. These little vacuum bags, they are the bee's knees for keeping food or meat in the freezer or whatever you want, basically. Eileen does her beans. She grows them snake beans, blanches them, puts little baggies in the freezer of these, and they keep really well. So through winter, got snake beans. We do a lot of things in it. Buy meat in bulk, cheap, cut it up yourself, vacuum seal, Bob's your uncle. But anyway, stop yabbering about that because you probably don't care anyway. I've had these yabbies in the freezer and on ice. They're pretty well gone to sleep. I don't want them snap frozen so they're frozen hard because they won't pack in the bag, but they're pretty well cold and lifeless. All I'm going to do is probably put 10 to a bag, and they're all reasonable size. I did keep a few bigger ones in there. 10 or so to a bag, and the reason for that, I could fit all 30 or 40, whatever we kept here, in the bag and do it all in one go, but I reckon about 10. That way, if the fish are not biting, you only defrost one bag at a time, you're not wasting too many. And you don't want to just do 3 or 4 because you're just wasting the bag. So about 10 yabbies. I don't even know whether I've got that vacuum sealer in frame, but it's as easy as hitting a button. And I don't want them too tight, so I'll just hit seal. Just like that, you've got a nicely preserved little bag of bait.
Looks like a nice dinner.
We just had a slight interruption. I just started and my sister rang. Steve wants his samosas. From the last video, they just watched it and literally just rang as we sat down to eat this. And they are in the freezer. And Josie went over there yesterday and I completely forgot to send them over. But Steve, rest assured, mate, they're in the freezer here and we'll bring them over to you, or you can pick them up next time you're here. Which is reasonably often. Well, not here, but next door at Mum and Dad's. So, get down to business after Steve's little phone call chasing down his samosas. What did we end up with? Right, I've just finished going through what these are when Amber rang. So, what we have to start with, caramelised onion, and these sausages are from the butcher's. They're a bacon and maple and something else I forget sausage, and I'm not a great sausage fan. We very rarely get sausages, but they look so good, and there was only them 6 or 8 left in the tray, and I've already tried one because we just started the video and they are bloody delicious. Our few little yabbies that we kept, nothing of any size, good little dipping size to perfection. I think I may have gone through a bit of chili oil in that.
Do you like my dip?
What do you got in your dip?
Nor seasoning, chili oil, and calamansi.
I don't know if anyone noticed, but we're in the process of getting some stubby holders, or can holders, drink coolers, whatever you want to call them. They're not on the website, but we're in the process of sorting some out. They're not going to be expensive ones. They're definitely not going to be Yeti quality. They're fairly light. I don't even know how they are stuck on there, but they're fairly well, just a basic stubby holder.
Spicy.
Now we had a pretty good morning. Didn't want to stay out too long because the heat wave out there at the moment, it's like you step out of the air conditioner here, go outside, it's like a blast furnace. That wind must be about 45 degrees and just hits you straight in the face. And it's quite disgusting. It's hard just to exist. So anyway, we'll leave this video here. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Catch you on the next one.
Why would you do that?
Oh, a bit of tomato, chili sauce.